Sources say Amazon execs were concerned about Jiro's take on the series would not have broad appeal beyond the franchise's already dedicated fan base. Is that not enough? I feel like Stargate is huge. Everybody knows what Stargate is.
Amazon MGM Studios has shocked the entertainment industry and devastated Stargate fans by abruptly canceling its highly anticipated new Stargate series for Prime Video, just days after it was apparently on the verge of moving into full production, with filming scheduled to begin in fall 2026 in London. According to multiple sources and recent reports from industry outlets, Amazon's sudden decision to pull the plug on the project, which had been in active development under showrunner Martin Gero, with consulting producers Brad Wright and Joseph Malozzi, the actual creative minds behind the original beloved series, has left the entire Stargate community reeling and has sparked intense speculation about what went wrong with a project that apparently had all the pieces in place to succeed. The cancellation is particularly shocking because it came without any official explanation from Amazon, with the streaming giant simply announcing that the project was being shelved without providing any public reasoning or commentary about the decision. This lack of transparency has apparently fueled intense speculation and concern about what might have caused Amazon to apparently abandon a project it had spent months developing, and that was apparently weeks away from beginning production. In an entertainment landscape where streaming services typically provide at least some explanation for major cancellations, Amazon's silence on the Stargate project has been notably unusual and apparently deeply frustrating to the fanbase that had apparently been eagerly anticipating this revival. According to entertainment insiders and sources familiar with the project's development, the new Stargate series was being positioned as Amazon's attempt to revive one of science fiction's most beloved and enduring franchises. The show was apparently designed to honor the existing Stargate canon while offering a fresh jumping-on point for new audiences, making it potentially one of the most significant sci-fi revivals of the decade if it had been successfully executed. The strategy of continuing existing canon rather than rebooting from scratch was apparently a deliberate creative choice designed to respect the franchise's legacy while also being accessible to viewers unfamiliar with previous Stargate shows. Stargate as a franchise has remarkable staying power and cultural significance. The original 1994 film, directed by Roland Emmerich and written by Emmerich and Dean Devlin, became a massive success with a worldwide gross of nearly $200 million. The film starred James Spader and Kurt Russell and introduced the concept of the Stargate, an ancient alien device that allows instantaneous travel between planets across vast distances. The franchise's greatest cultural impact came through the television series that followed. Stargate-SG1, which aired from 1997 to 2007 on the Sci-Fi Channel, became a cultural phenomenon in genre television. The show ran for 10 seasons, earned 9 Emmy nominations, and developed an intensely devoted fanbase that apparently remains passionate about the franchise decades after the series ended. SG1 starred Richard Dean Anderson as Colonel Jack O'Neill, Michael Shanks as Dr. Daniel Jackson, Amanda Tapping as Major Samantha Carter, and Christopher Judge as Teal'c, among others. These actors became iconic figures in science fiction fandom. The franchise subsequently spawned multiple spin-off series including Stargate Atlantis, 2004 to 2009, which featured Jason Momoa in an early role and starred Joe Flanagan as John Shepard. Additional series like Stargate Universe, Stargate Origins, and Stargate Infinity followed, though the franchise's television presence had largely disappeared by the 2000s. When Amazon announced in November 2025 that it was officially greenlighting a new Stargate series, it represented a significant moment for the franchise and for Stargate fans who had apparently been waiting years for new content. The announcement apparently generated excitement and hope that the franchise would finally return to screens with new stories that respected what had come before. Martin Gero, the showrunner attached to the project, apparently brought exceptional credentials to the role. Gero had spent 5 years working on the Stargate franchise across all 3 live-action series, and he apparently told interviewers that, "Stargate taught me everything about making television. It's written into my DNA," and that he was beyond thrilled that Amazon MGM Studios has entrusted me with guiding this incredible franchise into its next phase. Gero's appointment as showrunner was apparently reassuring to fans because he genuinely understood the franchise from the inside. He wasn't an external hire brought in to reimagine Stargate for contemporary audiences. He was someone who had spent years developing stories within the Stargate universe, and who apparently understood what made the franchise meaningful to its fanbase. The creative team assembled around Garrow was apparently exceptionally strong, and apparently represented a commitment from Amazon to treating Stargate seriously. In addition to Jarrow as showrunner, the project had consulting producer involvement from Brad Wright, one of the two original co-creators of Stargate-SG1, and Joseph Malozzi, the longtime executive producer who worked extensively on the franchise throughout its television history. Dean Devlin, one of the two original creators of the 1994 Stargate film, was also attached as an executive producer, as was Roland Emmerich, the director of the original film. This lineup of creative talent was apparently designed to signal that Amazon understood the franchise's legacy and was committed to honoring it while moving it forward. Having the original creators and longtime producers involved apparently meant that the new series would apparently have authentic connection to what made Stargate meaningful to its audience. According to production timelines and reports from entertainment outlets, writing was scheduled to begin in early 2026, with Garrow indicating that these things take about 2 years, give or take, suggesting that with a writer's room starting on the other side of the year, a debut in late 2027 or even 2028 appeared increasingly realistic. The show was being developed with the understanding that it would take significant time to develop a project of this scope and importance. According to reports from Gateworld, filming was slated to begin in late 2026 and would predominantly take place in London, and it really does seem like everything was in order and ready to move forward before Amazon's decision to stop the project. The production infrastructure was apparently being put into place, locations were apparently being secured, and the creative process was apparently moving forward as planned. But then, without warning or explanation, Amazon apparently made the shocking decision to cancel the entire project. The news apparently came as shocking news when Amazon MGM Studios apparently pulled the plug on its new Stargate series for Prime Video. The cancellation apparently caught everyone involved in the project and everyone in the Stargate community completely off guard. The cancellation apparently caught industry observers by surprise as well. Entertainment analysts had apparently expected the show to move into production as planned, and fans had apparently been waiting for casting announcements and additional production details that were supposed to come later in the development process. Instead, the project was simply canceled without explanation, without public commentary from Amazon, and without any clarity about what went wrong or why the decision was made. There were apparently no casting announcements for the new Stargate series before it was dropped, and no actors have mentioned being part of the process, and no statement from Amazon has been made about the matter. This suggests that casting might have been underway, but had not yet been publicly announced when Amazon apparently pulled the plug on the entire project. When news of the cancellation broke, the Stargate community's response was apparently one of shock, disappointment, and confusion. Longtime Stargate fans who had apparently been looking forward to this revival apparently expressed their devastation on social media and in online forums. The cancellation apparently represented the end of what many had apparently hoped would be a triumphant return of the beloved franchise. Joseph Malozzi, the longtime Stargate writer and producer, who was also serving as a consulting producer on the new Prime Video series, apparently posted a statement on Twitter addressing the cancellation and disputed a Variety source's suggestion that Amazon execs were concerned that Garrow's take on the series would not have broad appeal beyond the franchise's already dedicated fanbase. Malozzi apparently wrote, "Nope, no, sorry. Gonna have to push back on this." Malozzi's public pushback against the reported reason for cancellation is significant because it apparently contradicts at least one narrative that apparently emerged about why the show was canceled. The fact that Malozzi, someone directly involved with the project, apparently felt compelled to publicly dispute the narrow appeal explanation suggests that the real reasons for cancellation might have been something else entirely. However, Malozzi's statement apparently didn't clarify what the actual reason for the cancellation was. Despite apparently knowing the truth about why Amazon canceled the project, Malozzi apparently chose not to publicly explain the reasoning. This apparent reluctance to explain the cancellation openly has apparently only deepened the mystery and has left the Stargate community and the entertainment industry with more questions than answers. According to industry analysts and observers, the lack of public explanation for the cancellation has apparently sparked intense speculation about what might have gone wrong. Some sources have apparently suggested that budget concerns or production complications might have played a role. Others have apparently speculated about internal disagreements about creative direction or about conflicts between Amazon executives and the creative team. Some observers have apparently questioned whether the project fell victim to Amazon's apparently broader strategy of reassessing its streaming content spending and becoming more selective about which major productions move forward. The timing of the cancellation is particularly puzzling to industry observers. The project was apparently not in early development stages, where cancellations might be more understandable. Instead, the project was apparently in advanced development, with writers' rooms apparently active, production apparently in the planning stages, and filming apparently scheduled to begin in mere months. Canceling a project at this stage apparently represents significant sunk costs, and apparently raises questions about what apparently changed or what apparently went wrong in the final stages of development. The cancellation is particularly frustrating for Stargate fans, because the project apparently had significant advantages that should have made it successful. The involvement of original creators and longtime producers gave it authentic connection to the franchise's legacy. The timeline and budget apparently seemed reasonable for a major streaming production. The creative team apparently had decades of experience with Stargate storytelling and understood what made the franchise meaningful to its audience. For the broader entertainment industry, the cancellation apparently raises important questions about how streaming services apparently approach major franchise revivals, and about decision-making processes at companies like Amazon. Why would Amazon apparently invest months of development effort and significant resources into a project with such strong creative pedigree, and then apparently cancel it without explanation just days before production was scheduled to begin? Some entertainment analysts have apparently speculated that Amazon's decision might reflect broader concerns about the viability of genre television on streaming platforms, or about whether Stargate specifically could generate the kind of mass appeal that justifies major streaming investments. Others have apparently suggested that the cancellation might reflect internal disagreements about creative direction that apparently couldn't be resolved, or about conflicts between Garrow's vision for the show and what Amazon executives apparently wanted. Fan reaction to the cancellation has been one of genuine shock and disappointment. The Stargate community had apparently been hopeful that this new series would finally bring the beloved franchise back to television after years without a major new series. The prospect of having original franchise veterans like Brad Wright and Joseph Malozzi involved in the new series had apparently generated significant excitement and confidence among longtime fans who had been waiting years for new Stargate content. Social media apparently filled with disappointed fans expressing their frustration about the cancellation. Many fans apparently questioned why Amazon would apparently greenlight a project with such strong creative credentials and then apparently cancel it without explanation. Others apparently expressed concern about what the cancellation meant for the Stargate franchise's future and whether it would ever return to screens. The cancellation also apparently had ripple effects for the entertainment industry more broadly. The decision apparently sent a signal to other creators and producers that even major franchise projects with strong creative teams and significant development investment can be canceled without warning. This apparently created uncertainty about Amazon's commitment to large-scale science fiction productions and about the streaming service's decision-making process regarding which projects apparently move forward and which apparently get abandoned. For Martin Garrow specifically, the cancellation apparently represented a significant professional disappointment. Garrow had apparently spent months developing a project he was apparently passionate about, working with an experienced creative team, and apparently laying groundwork for what should have been an exciting return to the Stargate universe. Having the project apparently canceled without explanation apparently left Garrow's hard work apparently unfulfilled and apparently raised questions about what comes next for the showrunner. The cancellation also apparently left the Stargate franchise itself in a state of uncertainty. The franchise's IP apparently remains with Amazon MGM Studios, meaning the possibility of future revivals apparently continues to exist. But with the new series apparently canceled, the franchise's television future apparently remains unclear. Will Amazon apparently try again with a different creative team? Will the franchise apparently eventually be adapted by another studio or streaming service? Or will Stargate apparently remain in limbo indefinitely, with no clear plan for how the beloved franchise will apparently move forward? These questions remain apparently unanswered as of now, more than a week after the cancellation announcement. Amazon has apparently remained silent on the subject, offering no explanation, no commentary, and no indication of what the cancellation apparently means for the franchise's future. The creative team has also remained largely silent, with only Malotzi apparently publicly disputing one reported reason for the cancellation without apparently providing alternative explanation. The mystery surrounding the Stargate cancellation apparently highlights broader challenges in contemporary streaming television. Major productions apparently require significant investment and long development timelines. Decisions about which projects apparently move forward apparently involve multiple stakeholders with potentially conflicting interests and apparently shifting priorities. And when cancellations apparently occur at advanced stages of development, the lack of transparency apparently frustrates creators, viewers, and industry observers alike. For Stargate fans specifically, the cancellation apparently represents a significant disappointment and apparently raises serious questions about whether the franchise will ever apparently return to screens. The apparent death of this particular revival apparently means that a beloved property with generations of fans has been shelved indefinitely. Whether another Stargate project will apparently ever be greenlit apparently remains uncertain, leaving fans wondering if this apparent cancellation marks the end of new Stargate content for the foreseeable future.